guys. Sorry, I worked last night, so I picked up a shift and we closed, and I'm tired. I just got up. Oh my God, I'm telling you though, last night, I'm telling you, it was the best night, best night, best day at work I've ever. There's a guy who works there, and I was restocking bags. One thing I'm anal about at my job is bags. You know, when you go through the self-checkout and they have the bags there are some people that will just let the bags get down to like maybe just a few, or last night there were none. I'm like, it takes 5 minutes to load bags, and you're just standing around looking for customers. When there's no one around, do side work, clean up, do some trashes, empty the trashes, sweep up, put bags in, clean the registers. I'm anal about cleaning the register. Well, obviously not my own house, but you know what I mean. Cleaning the registers and wiping them down, and you know. And I know it's a home improvement store, but I'm kind of beating a dead horse there. But still, I mean, when I go to self-checkouts and they're all dirty and nasty, I'm like, oh my God, you know? So I make sure they're all cleaned, and I wipe the screens down, and I wipe everything down, and I make sure there's plenty of bags and everything. So I was getting bags out of the box. I was opening up a box of new bags. And one of my coworkers came up behind me, and he was putting in a trash bag into a trash can, and he came up behind me, and he picked up the trash can about maybe this far off the floor, and then he slammed it down on the floor and scared me. I'm like, oh, you're dead. You are dead. Oh, I'm gonna get you back. Oh, you dick. So then later on in the night, I look down, because he's down, you know, all I gotta do is just look down the row, and I can see customer service, right? And I could see that he was standing, you know. I'm like, I'm like, there he is. I'm gonna go get him. Little did I know that my manager was standing right next to him. So I went up to him, and I took my fingers from each side, and I went up to his ribs, and I went, eat, like this, and he jumped. And him jumping scared my manager. And when I was walking away, I heard her go, holy what was, you know, I was like, oh God. Luckily she's cool. She didn't care, but, and then, the guy who I said, looks like Jasco, he's so cool. Like, we're so cool with each other. I mean, it's just, we give each other crap. And, last night he got two like tubes of caulking, and he put it down, and he goes, hey, I gotta run to the bathroom, I gotta go do something, don't let nobody take these. I'm like, okay. And the minute he put them down, said, don't let no one take them, I said, yeah, I'm taking them. So he put them down, and he went around the corner, and the minute he was gone, I took him and I hit him. Right, he comes back, went right past the area where they were, went to the bathroom, didn't even notice they were gone, right? Meanwhile, I'm still laughing about scaring my coworker. And, he comes back and he goes, whoa, what happened? And he goes, did someone take him? And I'm just like, I don't know. And I just lost it. I could not keep it together. And I'm laughing, like I'm borderline on the floor laughing. My stomach is hurting. I can't breathe. I'm laughing so hard. And he's like, you dick, where'd you put him? No, he said, you asshole. He goes, you asshole, where'd you put him? I'm like, oh my God. Yeah, but we had a good night last night. There was this guy, he brought in this little dog. Oh my God, she was so cute, and her name was Gidget. And it fit her. Oh, it fit her so good. I was like, oh my god, she's so cute. I'm gonna put my phone on tripod because I have this is a very, very important video. Beardo, side-eye guy, I've emailed them for this. I'm gonna see if I can get a hold of Mythos too, because they're in London as well, or Britain or whatever. I'm hoping they can share this, although I've asked them to share important things before and they never do. So the fact that they don't use their platforms for anything other than debunking is whatever. But okay, so I'm gonna put this on the tripod and I'm gonna read something to you. Okay, there is I was gonna say a little girl, but I mean, I guess she's a little girl. Legally, she's an adult. I don't know what the legal age of adult is in London. I mean, over here in America, it's 18. But she's 18, but she's mentally a little girl. Her name is Meghan, and I saw a video on my For You page on TikTok, and her mom, she was at a window, and I have that video, and I'll insert that video. She was at the window, she had her little hoodie on, she had a backpack on, and her mom was on the other side of the window, on the outside, and the window was cracked just a little bit, and they were holding hands to the window. I'm like, what's going on? And I watched the video, and when Mama Tot gets involved, it's serious. You know that this is serious. So I watched the video, and what they were saying, I'm like, oh my god. And there was a link to a petition. Oh my god. I read it, and this is just heartbreaking. And I am going to show pictures and a video, and I am going to warn you. This is a trigger warning. This is a viewer discretion advice kind of thing. See, in America, I don't know how much these things go on in America. I don't know. And I know the rules over in, you know, Britain, the UK, you know, Australia, and all that are different than they are here. But I'm sitting there thinking, I'm like, oh my god. And I even made a comment on the video. I'm like, I don't know how things are done over there, but in America, excuse me, this is, sorry, hiccups. This is, false imprisonment. And I'm like, if that was my kid, I would either break that window, have her climb out of it and take her home, or I would go in and break down the door and take my child. You are not going to keep my child like this, and you are not going to do the things to my child that you are doing to this girl. So, I'm going to read, I have some stuff here I'm going to read to you. Just, again, viewer discretion advised. There are multiple human rights violations. Meghan is 18. She is autistic, learning disabled, has ARFID and hypermobility. ARFID, I don't know what ARFID is. Hold on, let me look up ARFID. Okay, ARFID is Avoidant Restrictive Food Intake Disorder. It's a fairly new eating disorder. Children with ARFID are extremely selective eaters and sometimes have little interest in eating food. They may eat a limited variety of preferred foods, which can lead to poor growth and poor nutrition. Okay. I feel like a dummy because I knew that. I knew that. I heard that acronym ARFID before, but I'm like, where have I heard that? What have I... Okay. So, hold on. Okay. Hypermobility. Meghan was prescribed some nutritious, calorie-laden shakes to be given in addition to 3 meals a day plus snacks she was having. Her mother's name is Shona. Shona was concerned and had asked for them as Meghan was rapidly losing weight. Now, you know those boost shakes and like the Pediasure and the Ensure shakes? That's what these shakes are. And you know, I love them. I think they taste good. I don't always eat the way I'm supposed to because I'm lazy for one. And sometimes I'll get them. They are expensive. Sometimes I'll get them when I know I'm not eating right, and I'll drink them just to get like some of the nutrition and the vitamins that I know that I'm missing out on not eating right. So Meghan couldn't tolerate the taste or texture. In her words, they tasted powdery, so she refused to drink them. Shona inquired about an NG tube, which is a feeding tube, as she was concerned that Meghan needed to have more nutrients than she was getting from her safe food diet. Even looking at them would cause Meghan to have a panic attack. The decision was wrongly made that Shona had neglected Meghan and had not tried to make Meghan have the shakes. I'm sorry, but if my child doesn't want something, I'm not going to force feed them. Because by doing that, I mean, I'm not a child psychologist or anything like that. I'm a medical assistant. I have a, degree in medical, registered nurse. But by doing that, you're just traumatizing them even more. You know, I see a lot of parents whose kids won't eat anything, or who don't like broccoli or asparagus or Brussels sprouts or even like chicken or fish, or whatever, right? I've seen videos of parents using like a reward system, just saying, hey, just take one bite, just take one bite. If you eat some of that, then we'll go get a toy or something. And that's probably the most, the best way. I don't say the best way, but a good way to get children to eat things. Shit, I wish my mom would have done it. Had not tried to make Meghan have the shakes. Was only interested in the nasal gastric feeding tube option, and was blocking professionals from helping Meghan. No, she was not. She went and inquired about a feeding tube, but she only wanted the kind that went in their nose and down into their stomach, not the kind where they make an incision and put one in your stomach like Gypsy Rose had. She was concerned that her daughter was losing weight. It's not like she didn't care. Here is what happened, written by Shona. On Monday, the 15th of... On Monday, 15th July 3rd. July 5th. They write dates differently over there. I think they write the day, the month, and the year, I think. And I think this is trying to say on Monday, July 15th. But it says 3rd police vans. She probably meant 3 police vans. A doctor, a social worker, and nurses turned up at home, our safe space. What does that mean? I don't know. I'm wondering if she's trying to say our safe space, which is our home. They demanded to be let in or they would be forced to break the door down. I let them in as they had a warrant. They found my daughter hiding under the bed. She was hiding because there's a shitload of people at the door of her home that she doesn't know, and she doesn't know what their intentions are. The fear in her eyes was awful. She ran and tried to get out the front door. It was locked. Down she ran into my bedroom and into the bathroom. By this point, I couldn't count how many people were swarming our home. I asked them to back off from the bathroom as she was getting so distressed. They refused, so I attempted to close the door a bit more for her privacy. The policeman was in the way. In my distress, I hadn't realized he grabbed me and pinned me on the bed and put Oh, hell no. No. I'm trying to protect my child. And you're going to arrest me for that? But wait a minute. Didn't you just say that I didn't give a crap about her and that I was starving her and I didn't care about her nutrition? But here I am in front of you. You see I'm trying to protect my child and you're preventing me from that. You know, I've always said that if I ever moved to another country, it'd be London. Fuck you. I would be in prison so goddamn quick. I would be in a London prison so quick. You're not going to treat me like that. No. Sorry. Ain't going to happen. They held my ankles and pushed my face into the bed and told me I had assaulted. Oh my God. I would sue. Oh, I would sue so fast. Oh my God. See, you know what? This is why home security cameras are important. Because 9 times out of 10, and they're not all like this, I know that. 9 times out of 10, when something like this is going down, if you try to retaliate by suing or taking them to court, the judge is always going to side with the police almost every time. Not all the time. But I think in a situation like this, if Shona were to take the police to court and sue them for what they did to her, I think that judge would be like, well, I don't think our police officers would do that. I'm very sorry, Mom. Case dismissed. I'm sorry, Your Honor. Fuck you. Take me to court. Put me in jail for contempt of court. I don't care. You know. What? 24 hours in jail. Woohoo, I'm scared. And told me I had assaulted an officer. My neighbor was here, so she witnessed it all and said I most definitely didn't assault anyone. Good. She's got a witness. Good. I think, and I'm not, this is nothing on this mother at all. Nothing. But if I had a kid who was autistic and had all the things that Meghan had, I would most definitely have video cameras in. That way, not to spy on anybody, not nothing like that, but for safety and protection. That way, if I took like her to the doctor or to a specialist or to God forbid even a psychiatrist or whatever, psychologist or whatever, and I say, well, this is what's going on and I don't know how to deal with it, here's some video, you can see what's happening, can you tell me what I can do or can you recommend like that, if not for nothing bad, just to advocate on her medical behalf and to show medical professionals, hey, this is what's happening. I can guarantee if Shona had video cameras, she could take that, download that information, take it to the police or to a judge or to the court and say, look at this video, and you tell me, did I assault that cop? And you tell me how what they did is okay. Then the screaming began, screams that will haunt me for the rest of my life. 4 police officers dragged her out of the bathroom. She was trying to grab onto anything. I couldn't see properly. Oh God, this stupid... Hold on, I'm sorry. I couldn't see properly as they kept pressing my head into bed. When she saw me, she yelled, "Let go of her." Meghan doesn't speak much, so this shows level of distress too. I didn't see what happened after they tore my vulnerable girl away from her safe space. My neighbor said she's glad I didn't see. They took her to an unknown place, and for hours, no one knew where she was. How do you not know where an 18-year-old girl is? How do you not know? They knew. They knew where she was. They just didn't want to tell her. Eventually we were told she had been taken to a locked adult learning disability psych ward. This girl does not need a psych ward. She's not crazy. She does have mental health issues, but it's not like, you know, anything that would require a psych ward. It's not depressed. She doesn't have PTSD. Oh, she probably is now. I was gonna say she's not depressed. She doesn't have PTSD or anxiety, although she's probably got all that now. I can guarantee it. She doesn't have any kind of psychosis. Well, again, she probably does now. She's autistic. That's a different part of the brain. And that is a different part of mental health issues. So when someone says, you know, I have mental health issues, that is a big, broad range. It can mean anything. And a lot of people, sadly, this day and age, when someone says, I have mental health issues, they immediately go to psychosis or PTSD or something horrible. It doesn't occur to them that maybe this person's autistic or whatever. I mean, I have mental health issues, but I'm not, you know, psychotic or crazy or anything like this. I have PTSD, some depression, a lot of anxiety. I actually had a panic attack at work the other day, and I spent my entire shift crying. Entire shift crying. Because, you know, all this PTSD and anxiety and everything stems from something that happened back in the 90s. But the car accident did not help at all. And I don't know if I told you guys, but when I worked at Walmart, I didn't have to do it. They didn't make me do it. They were very understanding. But Lowe's, they don't care. There is some onboarding, and it has to do what to do in the event of an active shooter. I can't do that training. I can't do it. And my hiring manager tried to get that part of the training, you know, can we just delete that for her or something, or can she just skip it? She tried everything, and they're like, no, there's nothing we can do, you know. It came down to, you have to get a doctor's note. So, I wish I could find the note. I don't. So, because my ex, back in 1993, 93, 94, almost shot me. I had a .38 caliber gun pointed at my chest. Like, not pointed at me, I could feel the barrel on my chest. And then, maybe 15 seconds later, he sat down next to me and shot himself in the head right in front of me. I need a doctor's note for that? Are you freaking serious right now? And that part of my shift where I said I spent my whole shift crying, that's what it was. I was fighting, not fighting, but, you know, with everybody about this. I mean, I got up when I went to leave, when it was time for me to clock out. I was sitting there doing this training and I was crying and having a panic attack. And not one person, no one member of management asked me if I was okay. Not one person said, do you need a minute? Would you like to talk about it? Are you okay? What's wrong? Not one fucking person. And when I got up, this makes me mad. I'm sorry. But when I got up and it was time for me to clock out, when I left, the other manager was sitting there and he was doing paperwork. I don't know what he was doing. But, you know, often he's in the training room with, you know, a bunch of, like, files and paperwork and doing so. I don't know what he does. I really don't give a shit. I stopped and I asked him, I said, you know, I just want to know, did she tell you why I can't do it? He didn't even look up from his paperwork. He sat there and he goes, nope, personal, none of my business. Didn't even look up. And the way he said it, my mom always told me it's not what you say, it's how you say it. And the way he said it was in the most cold, I don't give a shit manner I've ever heard in my life. So when I got home that day, I called corporate. I sure did. Sure did. I called corporate. And I told them what he did and how I was treated. And they were like, no. This is unacceptable. This is not who we are. This is not the face of Lowe's. This is not how we're supposed to treat our employees. This is unacceptable, and it will be dealt with. I haven't seen him since. I don't know where he is. I don't know if he's just off or what, or if it was dealt with. But I have never worked for a company that is so uncaring and cold and doesn't give a crap about their employees than Lowe's. And I know someone's going to say, well, why don't you quit? If you're so unhappy, why don't you quit? The only thing that's keeping me there, I'm trying my best to let the water run off my back like a duck. The only thing keeping me there is how much I'm making. The pay. That's the only thing keeping me there. I'm going to try to look for something else. But I have never worked for a company where I hate it. I dread going to work because I don't know what's going to happen next. where I've been treated so horribly by management in my life. You know, they tell us, you know, when we're in the bullpen, the self-checkout, the little self-checkout, we call that the bullpen. Over at Lowe's, there's 3 here and 3 here. And there's one person on each side that deals. One person deals with 3, the other one deals with 3. And when there's nobody there, when there's nobody, no customers, nothing, you know, we'll make small talk, you know. It's like, hey man, did you hear about, you know, we don't have full-blown conversations like I'm sitting here having with you guys right now. We don't do that. We just have small talk. And some of the head cashiers will come over and say, you guys got to stay on your own side. And you can't be talking. You can't talk. We're not allowed to talk to each other? I'm sorry. I didn't know I was in prison and I wasn't allowed to talk to the person in the cell next to me. I'm sorry, warden. But yet, they'll say that, but then turn around and go over to the little area where the head cashiers are. And there's 4 or 5 of them over there chit-chatting and giggling and laughing. But we're not allowed to talk. If I'm sitting there talking to a coworker, the minute, I'm telling you, the very millisecond a customer walks up, I stop talking and I go and I attend to that customer. It's not like I ignore them. I interact with every customer that comes through. And a lot of times, the customer, they'll be checking out, we'll sit there and we'll just have a full-blown conversation. You know, and even after they're done, they'll stand there with their receipt and we'll just talk. Okay. Back to the mission at hand. I asked to see her and they refused, saying she was too distressed. Yeah, she's distressed because she's in a place where she doesn't know what it is, where it is, why she's there, and she wants her mother. I said, I hope you haven't pinned her. I think I'm almost positive that she's referring to tied her to the bed or you know, restraint. I hope you haven't pinned her and drugged her. And they said they hadn't. You know what I'm going to say next. They did. When I was in the hospital, my side rails were up. And my bed had side rails for my arms, but also had shorter rails down on my legs, down by my legs. And I liked them like that. I liked them up. I don't know why. I just felt more secure, but I liked them up. I wanted them up. So I pulled them up. And the nurse came in and put them back down. Says, you can't have them up because that's a form of restraint and we can't do that. You don't need that. So I'm like, oh. I'm like, but I like it. She goes, I know, but, you know, and she was cool about it. So I'm like, dang, you know. So, I mean, as easy as that is called restraint, I can't imagine what these people are doing, you know. I called in the morning. They said she had slept well. Yeah, my ass. The reason for that was they had drugged her. I told you. And pinned her without telling me. So she was totally sedated, so no wonder she slept. I went to see my daughter. I have no words to describe the utter horror I felt when she walked in tears, clung to me, and said, Mummy, they hurt me. I asked to see where. She was covered in bruises. So, let's make a list here. We have false imprisonment, kidnapping, chemically restraining her, chemical restraints, that's called a chemical restraint, abuse, falsely arresting her mother. I wonder what else we can pull up here. I demanded an explanation only to be told it was done in her best interest and to keep her safe. So, abusing this little girl, beating her, and giving her drugs to knock her out is in her best interest. No, being with her mother in her home is her best interest. And you know what? If I was her mother, I would move if I could. I would move. Because from now on, that house is only going to be a reminder of horror, and it's not going to be her safe space anymore. I can guarantee that. She's not going to feel safe in that house no more, because she's going to think people are going to come back. And she's going to remember what happened. That is not her safe space anymore. They need a new house or an apartment or whatever they live in. Because that house is just going to be nothing but bad memories for her. Meghan is 18. She is not mentally unwell. That's what I was saying. She struggles with ARFID since an incident at her old gymnastics club triggered it really badly by the end of 2 months last year. So by the end of 2 months, are we talking about February, which is 2 months into last year, or November, December, which is 2 months before the end of last year? Why would gymnastics trigger that? Maybe they were serving snacks or something, maybe, they wouldn't serve a meal, I can tell you that, because my brother used to teach gymnastics, so I know a little bit about that. They wouldn't serve a full-blown meal, because when you have a big meal, you kind of get bogged down, and you really don't feel like jumping around and doing flips and that kind of thing in the air, and plus it'd make them throw up. Yeah, the only thing I could think of is maybe like a snack or something, and she just didn't tolerate it. I visited the next morning at 10 a.m. I was asked to leave at 11 after no explanation or answers to any of my questions were given. Meghan clung to me, and for the next 2 hours they tried to prise her arm and hands of me using force and restraint, but she didn't let go. If my child is clinging to me, you are not going to tear her from my grasp, because I will punch your ass in the throat. Again, I told you, I will end up in prison in London. I'm telling you right now. This went on for almost 2.5 hours. She had told me they lay on the back of her knees, crushing them into the floor, and she couldn't hardly walk when she got up. She has hypermobility and is recovering from a knee injury. And she has a discretion here. It says triggering photos of injuries, and I will post those up as well. Since being in there, she has eaten and drunk nothing. They are starving her to death, and she is crying with hunger and begging me to bring her safe foods. They won't let me in after first visit. I've taken a bag with safe foods, but because they won't let me give it to her, and when they give it to her, she won't touch the food as she doesn't trust them. I don't blame her. She had that window crack, and someone made a comment in that video, I don't know who the maybe it was a friend. I don't know who that was with the mom. But the person filming this said, I'm surprised that she's out this window right now, because if they knew that she was out this window right now, they would come out and they would drag her away. And I believe it. So if I was that mom and I knew that window opened, it didn't like slide open or raise open. It was one of those windows that it opens at an angle. It kind of just pulls down and opens at an angle. It was really, I've seen windows like that, but it's just really strange. I'd bring her safe foods and I'd pass it to her through the window. And I'd tell her, I say, you hide these. Put them under your mattress or under your pillow or under your bed, or hide them in a drawer. Hide them. And you eat them whenever you want. If you get up at 2 o'clock in the morning and you're hungry, you eat them, and you eat as much as you want. Mommy will bring you more. They are also replacing things that are not her safe foods. She knows as the packaging is different, etc. But they are telling her I put them in, which I didn't. And she says no. And they say, why would mommy put things in that she knows you wouldn't like it? She is going to die in there. Yes, she will. They won't let her have her charger to charge her phone, leaving it very shortly with no one to contact. She managed to get charger last night, and they now have shut off all the electricity in her room, so she can't charge her phone. They won't let anyone visit her. They have completely isolated. That's bullshit. That is bullshit. She hasn't showered since Tuesday, as they won't let her, as she won't leave her bag alone in case they tamper with it or take anything with it. Now, what she means by her bag, Meghan has a backpack, and it has everything in it that she knows is in it, that she trusts is in it, that she's comfortable is in it, and she won't let it out of her sight. You know what? And I tell her, I say, you know what? Take that bag to the shower with you. Take it with you. Don't take it in the shower, but bring it with you to the shower. Does that make sense? Please sign and share this petition everywhere. The way of, and this is the place that she's at. The way the William Fraser Center are treating Meghan is inhumane. It's cruel. Shona has been given no paperwork and has no idea how long Meghan is to be kept locked up for. We're raising £1,000 to pay for an ARFID expert to offer advice on the best way to support a young lady currently sectioned, and possible legal representation. Honey, no. You don't need that ARFID expert. You do, but not right now. You need an attorney. So, that's the end of that. Again, photos, video, they are triggering. Side-eye guy, I have emailed you. Beardo, Mrs. Geek, I know you guys are in London as well. Mythos, please, if nothing else, please, if you have any advice, please share it. I know they're not going to share it on their YouTube channel because all they give a shit about is debunking, but I'm not over there. If this was happening in America, you know, I'm not going to say I could probably help, but, you know, at least it's in America, you know. I don't know anything about the laws over there. I don't know anything about, you know, attorneys or how the police work over there. I don't. So if you could just please share this. Please sign the petition at least, you know. So, yeah. So here is the photos and the video, and I will link the petition down below. Please go sign it. Every signature makes a difference. I don't know if she has a GoFundMe, I don't know. So yeah, so here is those photos. This first video is gonna break your heart, because like I said, she has her arm out that window just grasping onto her mother, and she straight up told the person filming, they hurted me. And she wants to leave so bad. I mean, you can see the straps to her backpack. She's got her backpack on and she wants to go. So, alright guys, I'll see you later.
I go home.
I know, darling. I know. We're all here for you. What's been happening today? No? Has anyone been speaking to you today? Any of the nurses or doctors? No? Has no one come in and said anything to you today?
Just
Managed to...
I'm going to ask her something. I'm going to put this close so it can pick you up. Megan, can you get as close to that phone as you can for me?
Oh, darling.
Tell me what they've done to you since you've been in there.
They hurted me.
They hurt you. Can you get right there?
They hurted me.
And they won't let you out?
No.
And you want to come out?
Yeah. And not letting me see Mommy.
Yeah, I know. And that's not right. We're doing our very best to get you out, okay? Okay.
I'm so glad we got to see you today.
Yeah, I wanted to see her. They probably don't know she's out the window. If they knew she was out the window and we were filming all this, they'd be right out here straight away.
I think so.
You're not working with you, you're causing her trauma.
She's trying to get out because she knows you're here. Once she knows she's gone, we'll be able to help her calm
What,
down.
because you're going to drive her?
No, we're not.
Yeah, we are.
We need you to leave to make sure that we're taking care of Megan.
You're not taking care of her,
We are
you're
doing
abusing
it.
her.
Right now, you being here, unfortunately, is not helping the doctor. We really want to
I'm
help
not
her, so
leaving my child in that state, I'm not.
we need to ask you to leave.
Not with her right now.
We really do need to ask you to leave. I understand how distressing, I don't understand
No, you
how distressing this is. I recognise that this is an incredibly distressing
This
situation.
doesn't need to happen, this is preventable, okay? Absolutely preventable.
I need you to leave the building now.
No, I'm not until she's calm.
She won't be calm while she knows you're here. We
I
need
won't
you
be
to...
calm if I go either. Catch 22.
She was calm before you arrived, so we need to ask her to
That's why she wasn't when she walked in that room, she burst into tears.
but we need you to leave in the meantime. Okay?
Wow, you guys have got top-notch care here.
We really need you to leave in the meantime.
No.
We're at, right now to help Megan.